Hey VC, Jack here. I am back. This is Vinyl Martini. I've been away for a while. I've been dropping some videos while I've been on vacation. But before I get into that, I'd like to do some shout outs. This morning I just got a new sub. Everybody knows JT from JT's Record Room. His son Sean has started his own VC channel. And I think it'd be great if he got some more subscribers. I don't know how many he's got. I just watched his last video this morning. Thanks for subbing, Sean. His channel is called Let's Travel with Sean. I'll put the link in the description below. You can check it out after you watch the video. And there's another couple of channels I'd like to spotlight. And first one is Mike Vinyl Spiral. He's a chap out of England, great guy, got a great channel, shows some really interesting things. He's got 123 subscribers right now. He deserves a lot more. He's got a great channel. And Gary at Vinyl Kick has got 23 subscribers. Gary is out of Scotland, side on the west coast of Scotland, I think. If you want to know something about The Clash, he knows everything about it. Like I said, he's only got 23. He deserves a lot more than that. So why don't you give him a visit and sub him up. Anyway, so like I was saying, I was away for 7 weeks, almost 8 weeks. We went to France for a couple of weeks. We went to Spain for a month. And we spent about a week and a half in Amsterdam. And during that time, I visited about 12 record stores, and I went to one huge record fair in Barcelona. So people keep on asking me, I hear you brought a lot of records back, Jack. How many records did you buy? And I just would shrug and say, I don't know, a lot, because I didn't count them, but I did count them last night. And I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I bought 99 records. One record short of 100, and it wasn't by design. It's just what happened. I'm the type of guy that goes into a record store, I just get excited and I just have to pick up stuff that catches my eye. So today I am going to show you records I got in Marseille in France and in Magala in southern Spain. So let's stop the chat and just start showing the records. The first one is a comp 10 years after. I've never seen this comp before. I bought this in Marseille, and it is, funnily enough, an American pressing, and it's from a cheapies label that I've never heard of. It's on Pear Records. I rarely show labels, but maybe we'll show this one. I don't know. Has anybody ever seen anything on Pear? But it's basically a comp of the stuff on their Durham years from not a subsidiary of London Records. It's a 2-record set. It's not a gatefold, but it's got Going to Try, Woodchopper's Ball, Can't Help From Crying, Spoonful, Speed Kills, I'm Going Home, Hear Me Calling, Help Me, Feel It For Me, Love Until I Die, amongst others. I've been trying to pick up the early 10 years after stuff. Usually it's in really bad condition. I've got a couple, but now that I've got this comp, I think I'm just gonna, maybe I've satisfied my 10 years after itch. So there we go, 10 years after, and it's at their peak. Doesn't include any of the stuff from their Columbia years. From the cheapie bins, I'm a sucker for cheapie bins. I think this was £2, and this is a really weird one. It's called Brie et Ambiance d'Afrique. My French is terrible, pardon my French. But this is a pressing from Radio France. It's soundscapes from the Sudan, from the Congo. There's some native singing in here. There's some just sounds of village landscapes. Kind of a weird record. Lots and lots of tracks on here. Like I said, it was like €2, so nice and cheap. This is this record kind of fooled me. I haven't listened to it. It's a Tom Clark. The record's called Service Station. It's a double album. It's on Word and Sound label. I've never heard of it. I thought it was kind of a singer-songwriter alt country thing. Actually, it's not. It's an ambient electronic album. Tom Clark, it's hard to find stuff out about this guy. There's not much out there on him. But he is from, I think, North Dakota. So I haven't listened to this yet, and I don't have a lot of ambient electronic music, but I'm looking forward to giving this a listen. Next, I bought a classical record for €2. And this is on the Arado label. This is a great, great label. It's a French label. Great pressings, and music on their label is fantastic. Well, very well recorded, as you can imagine. It's on one of those fold-over French covers. It is Requiem de Guille. I can't tell you anything more about it, except that it was written in 1696. And a nice addition to my classical collection. And as I was going out and paying for this, sorry, I'm getting a little mixed up here. Let me just say that the next record store I went to, they had a bin four for €10. 4 records for €10. I only picked out 3, and as I was going to pay for the records, he says, no, 4. He didn't speak very much English, but I went out and picked out another record to make up 4, and I picked up this Stan Kenton today. I don't have any Stan Kenton. It's a beautiful copy of the Stan Kenton record. It's on Phase 4 Stereo Spectacular. It's Decca. I think that was the Decca's audiophile series. Nice write-up. Lots of words on Stan Kenton. Stan Kenton is not for everybody, more of a big band jazz guy. But I've always wanted to pick up a record of his, and this was only €2 and made up my 4 for 10. And I also bought a couple of Sally Oldfield records. I don't have any Sally Oldfield, but I know she plays on her brother's Mike's albums. Sally Oldfield, this is called Celebration. Probably folksy kind of new age music. And also another Sally Oldfield record called Water Bearer. This is from 1978. I think the first one was from 1980, and it's on, there's the copy. Nice cover, waterfall. And it's on the bronze label. I love that bronze label. With a kind of different yellow label. Bronze Records. Uriah Heep used to be on Bronze Records, didn't they? And another artist that I'm a sucker for is Donna Summer. I've never seen this record before. It's on Geffen Record. It is an American pressing. How does an American pressing get into a store in Marseille? I don't know. That's a whole other story, I guess. It's pretty chewed up. It's like the cat chewed it up. But the record is immaculate. It's just not a typical, an everyday Geffen label. This is a 1984 recording. Love Donna Summer. So I haven't listened to this yet, but I know there's going to be at least 4 great tracks on here because she never disappoints. And last of all, the last purchase I made in Marseille was Public Image Limited, John Lydon's band PIL, live in Tokyo. This is a double album. I should hesitate when I say that because this is 2 records, 45 RPM. So I think maybe the original was a 33 single album, and so I think this is a repress, was what I'm trying to say. Show you the label. It is the PIL in print. It is on Virgin Records, and I'm not sure if this is a promo or not, because it is a white label. Just because it's a white label doesn't mean it's a promo, I know that. But I did give this a listen. It's a 1983 recording. Is it 1983? Sorry, 1983. And I think he just sacked his original band and he formed a new band and went out on the road. Gave it a listen the other night. It's really great. I don't have enough PIL records, and I might have overpaid for this. I paid €25, which is a lot of money for Jack to pay for a record. But I don't know. I looked on Discogs, and the going rate is usually about 16 or 17 bucks for something in nice condition, but who knows. Next, my records from Malaga. Malaga is in the south of Spain, about an hour from where we were staying in Salobreña. Really a cool record shop called Mundo Vinili. If you're ever in Malaga, I highly recommend you going and checking the store out. Everything that he sells is in mint condition. I picked up another Ralph McTell record. I am a Ralph McTell fan. Ralph McTell is a kind of a traditional folk guitarist and singer. Beautiful cover on here. The painting is by Enrique Serra. Fantastic. There's a picture of Ralph McTell. Ralph McTell used to be in Pentangle. This record was produced by Tony Visconti. I think he got fired in the middle of production because somebody in Tony Visconti's camp was trying to get Ralph McTell to sign with Tony Visconti's management company. And as a result, Tony Visconti was asked to leave, and Ralph's brother finished producing the record and became his manager, and his brother is still his manager to this day. So a little bit of tidbit. This is on Reprise. It's a German, is it a German pressing? Dutch pressing. I think maybe it's a Dutch pressing. It's an English pressing. Just on typical Brown Reprise. Haven't listened to it yet. Looking forward to doing so. I will put that back in label later. You know, you have to laugh at this because I go all the way to Spain to buy country records. I've been collecting Jerry Reed records, or trying to collect Jerry Reed records, for the last 6 months or so because he's a fantastic guitarist. Here's Jerry Reed's. What's the title? It's called Ready. Jerry Reed, Ready. It's a 1983 pressing. This, I listened to it the other night. Fantastic record. He did not record this in Nashville. He went to Muscle Shoals to record this. I don't recognize any of the session players on here, but they're session players from the Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals. It's great. Just a great record. He only does one of his kind of funny songs on it called I'm a Slave, but he's a great guitar player. He kind of gets buried in the mix. It's hard to tell who's playing, when Jerry's playing or one of the other session guys is playing, but fantastic record. Glad to have found this. Jerry Reed. And I've been looking for Ricky Nelson records for a while, and I found a couple here. I have Country Garden here? Country Garden, the Black Album. And Ricky had kind of a funny life. He was a big rock and roll star in the 50s, and then he kind of had to find his own way after that. This is a 1977 recording. It is called Intakes. He records it with his Stone Canyon band, the same band that did Country Garden. Oh, I don't know if I have that title right or not. I'm sorry if I don't. It's a Black Album. Everybody should know it. It's a great record. It's a great country rock album. This is probably more in the same. Intake. Another Ricky Nelson album. I think this is the last one he recorded before he died, and it was released posthumously. It's called Memphis Sessions, and it's a 1986 release, I believe. They took the tapes, and I think they added some guitars and some more drums, etc., and released it after he died. I never see Ricky Nelson records where I live or when I'm out looking, so I was happy to find these. I haven't listened to them yet. Who knows what they're going to be like, but I'm sure they're going to be fine. This is a killer, a smoker. My buddy JT is going to love this. My buddy Mike is going to like this as well. Mike from MGK Boston. George Jones, Bartender Blues, 1978. Some killer songs on here. First off, right out of the gate, he does Bartender Blues, which is a great song, and vocal accompaniment. James Taylor doing his best country drawl. Great song. If you loved a liar, you'd hug my neck. Ain't your memory got no pride at all? I don't want no stranger sleeping in my bed. I ain't got no business doing business today. When your phone don't ring, it'll be me. Some of the cuts on this song, and it's George Jones at his best. Effortless singer. Love George Jones. Bartender Blues. Next up, something completely different. It's a Bob Welch record. Bob Welch used to be the main writer with Christine McVie in Fleetwood Mac. He went solo. After he went solo, they left him without one of the main writers in the band, which caused them to go and find Buckingham and Nix. This is a 1980 record. It's, as you can see, it's called Man Overboard. Listened to it the other night. This is a fantastic record. I really like Bob Welch's work, especially his first 4 or 5 records. Fantastic singer, great writer. He's got a very, very distinctive kind of California singing voice. Good craftsman, Bob Welch. And this was, I'm coming to the end, folks. This was the find of those 2 cities. This is David Sylvian, Secrets of the Beehive, 1987 release. I listened to this the other night. It is fantastic. I'm a big Japan fan. David Sylvian used to be the singer and main writer for Japan. He's had a long and brilliant solo career. His records are really hard to find, and when you do find them, they are expensive. I ponied up for this one. I think this one cost me 15 euros, but well worth it. It's in pretty good condition, and I had to grab it because I just never know. You never know when you're going to see it again, and it's one of those things where you leave the record store, you say, "Shit, I should have got that record." David Sylvian. And last but not least, here is an instance where you sometimes cannot see the forest for the trees. This is the Starland vocal band. So while I was looking for this record, it says country music on here. It is on RCA. And I was looking at all the personnel on here, and Ralph McDonald and Billy Cobham were playing percussion. What really grabbed me was Mike Aldrich is playing dobro. Mike Aldrich is from Washington, D.C. I've got a couple of his solo records. He is like a guitar dobro player extraordinaire. Eric Weinberg is on banjo here. Danny Flowers is on electric guitar. So I'm reading all that stuff, and I didn't recognize the name, the Starland vocal band. It was €5 cheap, in mint condition. So I got it home. After perusing it at home, I kind of the other shoe fell, and I recognized the name. It all came back in a flash. The Starland vocal band's big hit this year was "Afternoon Delight." That's a great song, AM staple, but it's not something that I would normally buy. I haven't listened to it yet. I hope there's some other redeeming songs, but my wife likes "Afternoon Delight." The song, shall we say? I'll leave that one alone. But anyways, there's some interesting sounding songs on here, like "Boulder to Birmingham," "American Tune," "California Day," "War Surplus Baby." So who knows? I'll give it a listen, and I'll let you know what it was like. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm fearing. So that's all I got for today. I want to thank all my new subscribers while I was away. I got about 20 new subscribers by hook or by crook. I don't know. I know that my regular viewers have been dropping comments, which I really appreciate. Like any person that does this stuff, comments is what you live for. That's why you film these things. So if you got any comments on, or if you have any feelings about any of these records that I bought, add it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I do answer all my comments, and I am going to be doing I'm going to be doing a little bit of a travelogue in the future, sort of breaking it down city by city. I've got, like I said, I got tons and tons of records. I don't have to do, I don't know, 5 more shows, but I'm not going to just do the next 5 shows on all these records that I brought back. I am going to be doing some threads and maybe entering some contests and featuring some other bands. Going to do, yeah. So we'll see what happens in the future, but this is running over 20 minutes. Thanks for watching, if you're watching this right at the end. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.